physically, because you know what to do. It's a practical thing. You just go in and practice it. You don't think, you don't use your emotions, you don't stop and go down those avenues. You kick in with practical assistance. So it's very nice to have. People will probably feel with your Aries sun, which is lots of and inspiration, then with your Taurus moon, giving it grounding and solidity and firming that Aries fire up a bit, it will give you a sort of a respectable nature, in that people will see that you're steady. Your reactions are steady. They're grounded. They're not flippant and unpredictable and unstable. They're very stable. Right? That's what you will be projecting, and then you'll also be projecting your Virgo rising sign, of course, because that's sort of more your personality. So that's another thing altogether. The personalities, the one that you apply when you're first meeting people, for instance. That's one place where you will catch yourself in your Virgo mode. Again, very much like Taurus, practical, very earthy, grounded, stuff like that. Not so much with Virgo, because it's a mutable sign, so it's a little bit more of a handful. But it gives you a lot of unusual qualities. The Mercury Virgo rising sign gives you the power to be analytical and focused on things. They like to focus on things. Sometimes they're a bit anal and pedantic and meticulous and stuff like that, but forever seeking like friendships and to hook up with people and have deeper than superficial relationships. So Virgo rising is something that you'll need to contend with now that you know about it. Did you know you had a Virgo rising?
I'm familiar with that. I actually first printed out this my birth chart earlier in the year, and so I'm looking at this printout, which is the same. It's from the same website. So I've studied it, but it takes multiple passes, I think, to really ingrain it and understand it with how I act, like you said, like when I first meet people. I tend to I tend to want people to earn my trust and earn my fire that I have, like as an Aries man. I'm an Uber driver for that's kind of how I make my money right now, and generally, like if I meet people and we have a connection, the conversation will go really deep because I'll really show them kind of the fire of the fire that I have. But on the face of things, it's very practical. So yeah, I'm understanding it so much better now that I'm tying all of this in. It's very interesting.
Yep, nice. So, the chart is a 24-hour clock, right? And it's turning clockwise, right? So you were born late afternoon. You can see that your sun is right here, just about to go beyond the descendant in the wet, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so all of this here, this is the afternoon, the PM. on the right, these people are more selfless, and this is the AM side. So this is the selfish people. So you can see you've got a bit more balance toward other people.
Hmm.
And then, of course, this above is the daytime, and this below is the nighttime. Again, extroversion, introversion. Again, you have balance there as well. So if you look at this 24-hour clock, every 24 hours up, the planets on the inside, they are going anti-clockwise. You know, they're going around this way.
Right.
So, yeah, their direction, they're running along this way like mice in a treadmill, but the treadmill turns once clockwise. So you can see where your sun's at the right there, it's at the 5:40 mark, right? Just about to set. So you're still a diurnal. You were born during the day, so it's the diurnal extroversion energy's strongest in you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Going out there, meeting people, learning from the big bad world, you know, all of its lessons.
Yeah. Hey, when were you living? So I speaking of which, just a little background. I've traveled a lot, and I think that's a huge part of me. Is I've been to over 30 countries. I actually lived in Australia. When were you in Melbourne? Were you always living there? Because I was there 2010. 2010, October 2010 to April 2011. I was living there in Melbourne. And
yep, I was there.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Did you go to the city?
I lived in the city. I lived on Swanston. I bartended at Transport in Federation Square. And
well, you would have probably seen me in the mall playing my guitar.
Yeah, on Burke Street, right?
Yep.
So I was always walking, like every day. I would walk to and from. I lived down by the State Library on Swanston, and I would walk that street every day, and I would always see people street performing, busking. So that would be crazy if you were there during that time.
Yep, I was. That was one of my last years. 2012 was when I stopped doing music in Melbourne.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's when you started doing your video presentations, right? 2011, is that right?
Yep. Syncretism.
Yeah, man, awesome.
Had some mate. So let's have a look at these houses then. So Pluto in the second house. So that will be resources, money, income, stuff like that. Pluto being very, very powerful and creative, transformative. Transformation's the key there. So, you know, if you're making money for yourself, having Pluto in the second house is very, very good. You know, it gives you power and the ability to, you know, draw from all your resources. So I would say from this, a very, very, very resourceful individual, you know, who has plenty of power to attract money into the life with Pluto in there and make it a transformative experience. In other words, something where, you know, you learn and grow from how to support yourself, sustain yourself, you know, and you transition better ways of doing it, you know.
Yeah,
that's the key there. And then you've got Saturn and Uranus in the house of travel. So transporting, commercing, traveling, all of those things will be very good for you as well. It's also karmic, so it shows that you've been doing it. You know, that's what you do.
Yeah, and that's yeah, it's why I keep doing it. It's very strange. I try explaining that to people about, well, why do you? Because I've been an Uber driver for 5 years, and it's that sense of always moving and traveling and meeting new people that I get high on. I love, even though sometimes the energy is hard to deal with when you bring new people in all the time. There's something about it. It's unexplainable, and that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you've got two very, very solid and old planets, slow planets there, showing that it's a stable house, gives it stability for a start, and gives it a bit of a journey. It's not a house that is insignificant. It's very significant. So there's a journey there for you, traveling, transacting, commercing, communicating, keeping, communication lines open, especially in your family, brothers and sisters. Very important. Community, networking with friends. Do you have a partner?
Currently, no. I've been single for about 2 years now. My last girlfriend was a Scorpio, and I learned a lot from her. That was the first time I've dated a Scorpio, and I think that's what brought me to all this. Is my deep understanding of what Mars and Scorpio, or what Aries and Scorpio means, and how much it affected me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can get into that, but
yeah. Well, it's not really a great compatible sign for you. Not perfect. It's
Right.
Doable, and it also depends on her synastry as well. So you've got to look at all of those things. You have to look at synastry of the individual and compare it to yours. So, just bear with me one tick.
yeah, no worries.
Power in here. All right. So, the fourth house is the house of home, property, stuff like that. So if you were going to find your own home one day, that would be a great idea for someone like you with this chart. But just in general, it's showing there that you, enjoy being at home. It should be a haven with Neptune there. Neptune will make it like a heavenly place, restful, dreamy, inspirational, educational, place where you can learn, place where you can rest, enjoy hobbies, recreation, etc. Neptune, great placement there, bringing you, lots of emotional stability as well at home.
Yeah,
I would say, it shows that you really just love being at home. You enjoy relaxing at home.
Oh yeah, I mean the last 3 years I've lived on my own. This is the first time I've had a home where I've built a home, and I've made it my sanctuary, and it's led me to all this, to learning, to building my study, buying books. So that is 100% nail in the head right there with Neptune, 100%.
Yeah. Also, good for investing and buying property and having your own things, material things. You do have a good material chart. Solid material chart.
Meaning what exactly, like material?
Well, material things will be looked after. You know, you'll be comfortable,
Yeah. Okay.
not struggling.
Right. Yeah.
Meaning that you will be able to possess your own property, your own things, and invest well and have, you know, a good outcome from it.
Yeah. Okay.
Stability, riches, that sort of stuff can come your way if you should want it. It's there in the chart, you know.
Yeah. If I should want it, I love that. It's very true. It's like, yeah, I know. It's like that. Yep.
Then you have Jupiter in the fifth. This is a lovely house, very lucky. It's dealing with pleasure and enjoyments of the heart, romance, hobbies, recreation, you know, all kinds of lovely suits, things that you like doing from the heart, and children as well. So if you have Jupiter in there, you know, it shows that you'll be very loving, beautiful parent, very benefic toward your children, always bestowing gifts and kindness, and very happy towards them. Very good for that if you're going to have children, but very good for the individual to have a lot of luck, a lot of charm, longevity, and you know, being able to seek a lot of pleasure. So you're very lucky to have that. That's a nice thing. Anything in the fifth house is nice, but Jupiter, the most, you know, benefic and kind, bestowing lots of gifts there, charm, luck, lots of goodwill in the life, you know, of the individual. So sixth house is free. That's the house of illness, self-improvement, and themes like that, misfortunes. So it's very good not to have the 6th and the 12th house populated. 7th house is partners. So lots of love and good energy there. Those 3 planets are all good. Okay. They go well together, especially Mercury with Venus. Now I notice they're both retrograding, so that's going to be interesting. Mercury and Venus. Are you a musician?
I'm learning piano right now, and I'm becoming more musically inclined as I get older. So yes, I sense that's my future in a weird way. I'm drawing more towards it.
Yeah, music, crafts, art, philosophy. Philosophy would be very good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And just dealing with the superficial of that house, the partners aspect of it. I mean, having Venus and Mercury in there is beautiful, showing sweet, kind attitude toward partners, very communicative, very romantic, very fun and loving, lots of fun, you know, you're bringing a lot of vital energy into your partnerships, lots of communication, virtue, very virtuous, very healthy. So I don't see you having problems with partners.
No.
Not at all.
That's never been a thing with me. No. It's always been fun with everyone that I've been with.
Yep. Fun appears to be one of your qualities there that you bring into partnerships, for sure. Charm, probably very, very good with the with words, you know, to conquer ladies, you know, nice, wordy, romantic sort of expressions I can see there. Yep. Very nice. Yep. And then that's very significant for you. That's where your North Node is, bringing you into a karmic relationship with that house, in that it's your, you know, your purpose, your focus in this life. So the 8th house would be things like transformation is very important for you. You don't want to be sitting on your laurels. So you need to be transforming, you need to be penetrating deep secrets, don't want to be a superficial guy.
No.
Expand your consciousness, and express yourself creatively. So learning the piano is very, very important for you as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's been, yeah, I'm excited just to keep going deeper into that, man. I've been so into classical music maybe the last like 3 or 4 years, and that's brought me so much peace and joy from just listening to just the beauty and the logos that you get from listening to just, you know, someone play the piano or the violin or something. So yeah, it's all there, man.
Yep. Yeah, so Moon as well, Mars in that house. This will bring, it's also the house of sexuality, sexual attractiveness, sexual knowledge, etc. So there's a big theme in there for you too. I think transmuting your sexual practices, now that you know about white Tantra, you know, I think that's very appropriate for you from now on, especially.
Yeah, that's so funny. I mean, I've watched that video now, your video on the white Tantra a couple times, and it's just, and I'm reading The Light of Egypt, which I think you grab a lot of stuff from Burgoyne in that, I think, right?
Yep.
It's just yeah, that kind of deeper truth about sexuality, it's just, it's eye-opening, man, and it's so true. If you you know, we all squander our seed, you know, when we don't know any better, and then you get older and you realize that it's so powerful. It's such a waste, you know. You can, and there's a certain way to do it. So yeah, that's all that is just fascinating to me.
Yep. Yep, me too, brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's empowering when you learn how to master that in your life, because then you learn how to master many other things. You don't master one aspect, you can't master others.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Wow.
Very important.
Yeah, that's the one, man. I mean, they don't teach you that. Like, your parents can't even teach. I mean, your parents don't even. I don't know. I guess it's different for everyone, but I think me coming to terms with that over the last maybe month or so, it is a mastery. You have to master those. And I think back on all my exploits. You know, I'm only 34, but it's like I've been with. You just, I don't know how to kind of say it, but it's just, I guess you live and you learn, but then this is so powerful, and not everyone learns this. I get the sense that not everyone will learn this, because why would they if they didn't, you know, like you said yesterday, you the video you posted with the American Underground Network, I think you did it last night. You talked about like the right books come along in your life, and you were just lucky to have the right books come along at the right time. And I feel the same way. It's like I've these books that you've read and that you've encouraged your listeners to read. I mean, a book will change your life, right? It'll open your eyes.
Absolutely, man, and especially the right books with real wisdom, not tampered, by the Jesuits. A lot of these classical writers, they've all been redacted.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm in Hollywood. I'm an actor. Like that's why I moved here. But I've got more into screenwriting and learning the business of that. And it's the same thing. It's like you'll get propped up if you write along the guidelines that Hollywood wants you to write, and that's the same thing. Any kind of published world, especially in Hollywood. I mean, it's just crazy how you can't say things. You can't. So yeah, learning all that is mind blowing too, man.
Well, you're in the right place if you're going to be an actor, because you've got that in you. That Mercury-Venus conjunction, I should have added. A lot of actors have that, I think Elvis Presley had it, Muhammad Ali had it, Johnny Depp has it, Michael Jackson had it. All these people who sweet talk, who are really good with speaking and charming people with their voice. So you do have that. You've got the charming voice, brother. Make use of it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, that's... Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes I don't know how I got here sometimes. Something was pulling me and telling me to follow this and because of what... I don't know. It's tough to explain about that, but I guess that's why I like being an actor. I don't know. I enjoy speaking. I think that's what it is. I had to overcome that fear of public speaking as a kid, and once I did that and I broke through that, I felt the most alive, and I felt the most expressive, and I guess that's why I continue to do it, and why I can't turn away from it, just because I need that. There's something about the expression of speaking in front of people and acting in front of people that makes me feel the most alive, and I'm sure that's the same with you and what you do. It's your purpose, and you're good at it, and that's, I guess, what drives you.
Yeah. Well, you've got a good patch in your career coming up. You definitely have a strong career house. The 10th house is strong. So that's going to be very, very good. You need to work with partners, all right? So don't forget partnering up.
Yes.
Don't try and do it solo.
Right.
That's going to be the secret for you. You need to work with others in your projects. So remember that when someone offers you something, it might be a better opportunity than you think.
Oh, that's great advice. It's great advice.
Yeah, it's through others that you will achieve success, and many, so have good people around you. But things will be climbing up the next at least 6 or 7 years. Very, very strong for you, and you should do okay for the next whole, say, 14 years. You've got 14 good years ahead of you.
Can you explain that a little better so can you bring your mouse over where we're talking here?
So I'm looking at Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter is going to be hitting this point here in about 4 months, but already he's climbing. And when Jupiter is rising, you have 6 years of good ahead, right? Until he gets up to your MC, and then he will bring you some goodies in your career. And then Saturn will take 14 years to climb. So Saturn climbing is positive as well, meaning that you're on the move. You're going upward for the next 14 years, and then you'll be waning after that for 14 years. where you just want to consolidate and sit back and enjoy your gains. Now's the time for gaining, for climbing, career climbing, etc.
That's so on the money. Is there a way? I mean, so I've struggled a bit the last maybe like since I moved here. It was a period of transition, and now I feel that I'm on the cusp of what you're talking about, because I've settled in. I've got my foundation, my bearings of what I need to do. I know what I need to do. But I didn't know that 3 years ago. I was confused. I was lost, and everything was changing, and I was breaking up with someone and moving in on my own and learning how to survive. And 2015, 2016 were tough times. And it's interesting hearing that, because I feel it. I feel that I've gotten through the muck in a way, and that I know that it's only up. Like I've been so down, So hearing that is very positive, and it makes sense, and I feel it.
Yeah, well, it's been like 14 years of waning for you, really. So you've been sort of having to consolidate, just regroup. You're not really climbing. But now there's a climb. So definitely right now is time for you to be building up, your career. I'm just going to check something else for you as well.
Yeah.
A5:40 p.m. Sacramento's beautiful.
Yeah. Have you ever? Is this your first time? Is this your first time in Northern California? Have you gone through there before?
Been to Los Angeles in 2001. So how old are you now?
34.
Okay, so you're under Mars. Yeah, this year should be good. Next year might be tough for you, starting in June. But after that, it'll pick up. 2021. Picking up. You've got a lot of Mars energy to look forward to. You're working under Mars, and then when you turn 39, you will be under Rahu, so the North Node, which means that'll be very good for your career. Big. That'll lots of success. But Mars is also very good for you. Very good data right now. Action. It's good for you to inspire you to be. You can hit that there, and it will show the data that you're in.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
I'll put that in your chat. The link where I got this information from, so you can see what planets you'll be under. This is when you're 35 right now, or 34 you are, so you're under Mars, Jupiter. So it should be a good year for you up until June 2020. Then it'll get a bit tough till June 2021. You'll have a tough year, and then it'll pick up again. But this year should be good up until then.
Interesting.
And then, of course, remember, you've got 14 years of Saturn waxing, Saturn rising, which means you can count on things always consolidating and climbing for you.
You said you put that link in the chat?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting table there. By the year, seeing that.
Yeah. Well, you were born under Venus, so you had 15 years, your first 15 years of life would have been good. Then the sun took over till 21. Yeah, they would have been very good years as well. Moon, I think you've had a pretty good life. You're pretty charmed. You've got, yeah, and then you've got Jupiter to look forward to till you're 71. So that's going to be a really blessed time of your life. This is when it's going to get bumpy, K2, but you'll be 109, so you're lucky. I'm just finishing my K2 period in 1 month exactly.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that, and you commenting on it being how you went through some rough times in the last few years, and so it's interesting.
Yeah, well, you're going to hit that at 109, so lucky you.
Oh man, they used to live. They used to live that old, man.
Yeah. Yep. They did. All right. So, what other questions, Matt? Let's have a look at that. You know your cell salts? Which ones you need?
Yeah, I actually do take the those Schussler salts. I need to buy a new round, but it's I guess it would be the Aries, the Taurus, the years that I wasn't the Aries, Taurus salts and the Gemini salts, right?
Yep.
Is it any? Is it any? I guess this is a question. I love bananas. I love potassium, and I think mine is potassium phosphate for Aries.
That's right. That's right.
And so I don't know. And it's funny. It's like my, like for instance, my mom, she hates bananas. I'm like, how do you hate bananas, Mom? Like they're so good. Like I have to have a banana every day. I don't know. It's the potassium. Like my body craves it.
Yeah. Grapefruit.
Yes, I love grapefruit as well. Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's a grapefruit.
Oh, it's a grapefruit. Yeah. It is a grapefruit. I love it.
Yeah. You need 3 other salts too, though, brother. You need Scorpio, Capricorn, and Aquarius.
Really? Okay.
Yep, just going on this chart, they will be weak in your constitution. And remember, always take them separately from each other. Don't take them together.
So
not the best way.
I take the combination 12 cell salts. Do you think that's not worth?
It's not the best way.
Yeah, interesting.
Separate's best. Individual and separate.
I will look into that.
Yeah. Do so. So, what else are you looking at, man?
Man, let's see. Can you talk about the nodes some more? I've heard you talk about and how they relate to the moon and the sun. You know, the nodes like Rahu and Ketu, and how that relates to the chart.
Okay, so the North Node is where the moon's plane intersects the sun's. The sun is the master of the ecliptic.
Right.
But the other planets, the other 6, they also follow the ecliptic, but they're not always on the ecliptic. So where the moon goes up for 14 days above the sun's ecliptic, she has to hit the North Node. And then when she goes below, she hits the South Node. So south is K2, and of course going south is not a good thing, right? Going north is a good thing, right? Because you are above the sun. So the moon when she hits Rahu, it's the head of the dragon, it's more sort of auspicious, it's more positive, because now she's above the sun, so she has more, and that's where your karma is. It's leading you to go above the sun. It's leading you to work on this in your lifetime, otherwise you'll miss out on a great opportunity. So for you, it's in the sign Taurus, but it's in the house, the 8th house. So the sign Taurus is about family values, economy as well, learning about how to manage your finances, how to balance the sheets, how to be good with your money and to look after it. Your material possessions as well, look after them, take care of them, not take them for granted. You don't have to be materialistic, you just have to appreciate material value. Lessons like that, family, being a good member, valuable member in the family, being functional. But in the 8th house, well, the 8th house is another matter altogether. It's dealing with transforming your nature, transforming your sexual habits, your knowledge base, making it a deep and penetrating experience to learn rather than being superficial. Being creative is very important as well. So as an artist, you need that outlet. You need to be artistic in your creativity. That's very important.
Yeah, so recently I've built some stability in my life with where I am, and I've grounded myself here in Los Angeles. But I have a degree in something that I could go back into. I have a construction. I'm really good at math, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Construction Management. And I don't want to go back. That would be the kind of stable thing for me to be like, I'm going to turn away from my from the artist inside to kind of chase a more stable life. But I keep saying no. I'm like, no, that's not right. It's not right. It's not me anymore. And so that's something that I deal with as I watch all the construction boom that we're currently in. That's actually what led me to live in Australia. I graduated in 2008 during the recession, and so I couldn't keep my job. I was working with a general contractor in San Diego, and I lost my job, and I couldn't get into the field because there was no building. And so that led me on this path that I'm currently on, here 10 years later. And it's just brought me so much reflection. And I just can't imagine the stuff that I've learned the last 3 or 4 years, if that ever would have happened had I not graduated when I did. And then of course learning all the what getting a degree really means, that to me is just fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So acting was a choice you made after you couldn't get into the building, is that correct?
Correct. So it was like I lost my job, which was I was working with the top contractor. They're probably building 10 buildings in LA right now. The same contractor that I lost my job to. And then I flew to Australia. I did a working holiday visa. I was bartending, mixing with the world. I dated a Greek Australian girl for a couple months when I was living in Melbourne. It was the time of my life. I got to understand the world through living with backpackers from all over the world in Australia. and it completely shifted me. And then I came back and I was just like, I think I need to be an actor. And so that's what I started doing, and then I finally moved to LA. But it's just, I think I've learned all this stuff now, the syncretism, and I'm so fascinated by it. And I hope to marry it with what I'm doing as a career. You know, it's tough though, because you know that the mainstream won't ever go this deep. It you know, there's ridicule with if you try bringing it up to, so it's touchy, right? You know, it's a touchy line trying to marry the two. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it makes sense, all right. It's but you can do it, and you will do it.
Yeah.
It's what they do in Hollywood anyway. They've always used astrology in their, you know, in their scripts and in their movies. Astrology's always in it. You can see it when you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you'll find a way of marrying it. I did.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, right. I deep down I know that there's a way to overcome that that learning all this stuff is there's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose for all of us to come to truth.
Yeah.
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 Are you I overheard you saying that you might be doing some kind of presentation while you're up there. Is that true?
Yep. We'll do a couple. One in San Fran on the 21st, another one in Sacramento, and probably Reading.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. I think. Do you know when you're going to be doing the one in Sacramento? Yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I guess I'll be
posting.
Yeah. Because I might come up for that one, because I owe my family a visit, and that'd be cool if I could maybe, you know, actually go to one of your presentations and see. That'd be cool.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, Santos. You know, it's kind of been I've been learning all this ever since I came across your videos probably 9 months ago. So it's been really cool learning from you, and I'm happy that I was able to finally you know, talk to you and get a reading from you. You know, it's having the same birthday, so I really appreciate everything you do, man.
Nice. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Do not. All right. Well, thanks, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks for your support.
Of course, brother. And yeah, I'd love to see whenever you do the Sacramento, man. I'll try to make that happen. Hopefully there'll be a good turnout.
Check my posts on Facebook.
Cool.
All right, bro.
All right. Thanks, Santos. Take care, brother.
Take care. Yep.
See ya.
Bye.